I wanted to get into what we're going to get into today because there's been a debate going on in the law community online every day for basically since since the internet has existed, that about the differences between law and equity, and is there a difference, and does equity even exist, blah blah blah, all of this nonsense. And we talked about it a little bit on last week's show. We did bring a Supreme Court case to the fold that irrefutably proves that the federal courts still have equity, just like they did in 1789, when the Constitution was originally written. And in these first two chapters, this debate must have been going on since the very beginning of the Constitution being written, because Story tells in here, as we'll get into it, you'll see Story is he takes a lot of care in this first chapter to really dispel all of the myths of equity. So to me, this debate has been going on since then, and then and it was still going on in 1918 because this W.H. Lyons Jr., the editor of the 14th edition here, he felt it important to re-release this edition and add his own commentaries about equity, and he agrees with Story on everything he says.
No, I will just add there's nothing new under the sun, and that means that the arguments that people are having today about whether or not God exists or whether or not equity exists, the same arguments were happening during this time, and he felt it prudent to update and show that equity is still running. It even states in there, it's talking about mortgages and promissory notes and contracts and things of that nature, but it makes several references to that, if you need this done or you want to achieve this, the courts of law are not going to be able to help you. You must go to a court of equity. It even states in there that there are things on the at-law side that absolutely cannot be done, and the remedy is going to be in equity. So even in 1918, there's a second source right there that says it.
It's the cycle is also, it's taken its course again, and it's our job to bring back equity into the fold. And a good way to get there is through studying equity maxims.
If you learn the language of equity, you will be set for life.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, these are principles for life. And even the editor here, he tells you later in this book, equity is universal. It's going to be here after the law.